Testing, testing. Before I call the meeting to order, we're just doing a sound test.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can perfectly.
Okay.
Testing. Can you hear me all the way in the back? Okay. I call to order the Select Board meeting today, Tuesday, February 21st at 7:29 p.m. Motion to open?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call. Mr. Gito?
Here.
Mr. McCrisky?
Here.
Mr. Carrera?
Here.
Mr. Cavey is absent, but I am here. I ask all that are able to stand and salute our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting will be conducted in person. This meeting will be recorded by SMAC Cable Television, broadcast live, and may be live streamed at www.stoughtontv.org. A recording of the meeting, transcript, or other comprehensive record of the proceeding will be posted on the town's website and or SMAC as soon as possible after the meeting. Times are approximate, and items may be taken out of order at the chair's discretion. I would like to take the Select Board item out of order, and that means me going first this time. I would like to introduce you to our new clerk of the Select Board. Her name is Gilda Pereira. Welcome aboard. We'll miss Lena Wilson. You want to tell a little bit about yourself, how you came from the procurement? She's been with us for a long time. Oh, yeah, look at her. She's standing up. She's such a professional.
Gilda, pull that over to you closer.
So I've been with the town since 2019. I was the Finance Committee Recording Secretary for a year and a half. And the past year and a half, I've been the clerk with Fran in the Procurement Department. I'm very excited to hop on board with you in this challenging role. We'll see how it goes. I will do my best to do
We're
it.
glad you're here.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, if I may say, I was involved with the interview with Gilda, and there was one hang-up. She asked for a sign-on bonus. We said we'd give it to her after 5 years.
She's such a wonderful person. Great, great. Another item I would like to make note of is especially that I see Peter Bannis in the audience, and he's had approached us on several occasions regarding the fire station. I would like to comment that under the direction of Mr. Coulter, we're in the process of developing a public information meeting in the form of transparency, and it's in the near future. I think I have a date for the fire department, and that is March 20th, unless it's changed.
Yes,
so that will be March 20th. Also, Mr. Coulter is so very organized. He's given me a list in advance of topics he would like to discuss as well in the near future. And one is the draft of the special capital project plan. So that's coming as well. And then other things that various residents have approached me and said, well, where are you on this topic? What's the status? Tom is ahead of that curve. He's already given me a date when he plans to discuss. Tom, Mr. Coulter, do you have anything else to say in that?
The chair lady is being very humble. She directed me to be ahead of that plan, so she's very kind. We understand, and the board has directed me to deal with this, that that the town is thirsting for information on projects, on issues of the day. I can name a few off the top of my head. Long-term infrastructure needs, regional 911, the construction of the fire department, the code of conduct. There's 3 or 4 others that were major issues the townspeople have risen. And the chair lady has instructed me to conduct open, transparent, public hearings, not in the legal sense, public informational hearings, where we'll field every question the public has regarding any of the initiatives that are going on. The long-term capital plan is very important. Based on the information that's gathering now, we've got a substantial backlog of capital projects to replace 100-year-old water systems, sewer systems, 50-year-old roads that have never been resurfaced again. We've got to do a 4-year rolling capital plan that will be rolled out to the community. I've got a theory I used in business, and that facts are friendly. There's no good facts, there's no bad facts, there's just facts. And the board has tasked me, the entire board has tasked me with making sure the community has reliable, defensible facts, so that the community can deal with those facts in making their important decisions. So I look forward to it. We've got a schedule running through, I believe, May, where there are information hearings, and then the following week there's a presentation before the board to vote on it. By way of example, and it's part of my town manager comments tonight, we've been negotiating for 2 weeks with the employees' unions, the Insurance Advisory Committee, in an effort to reach an agreement on health insurance premiums effective July 1st. As we all know, there's been a crisis in that area. And I'm really proud of the collaboration, the cooperation, and the communication that's gone on. It's a great example of how, when reasonable people look at data and facts, they typically reach the same conclusion. And I will predict tonight that next Tuesday, when this governing body convenes, they will not need to sign the 32B agreement. And it's primarily because of the cooperation and the input of our union leaders, who have worked with us in developing a plan that works for the union. I could be wrong about that. I may be asking you to sign the 32B so we can move forward. I don't think so. I've never seen a group of people work so collaboratively in such a civil way to get to yes on something that affects us all. So I want to thank the unions on the board's behalf, and I hope we can deliver good news next week, and with all the union leaders sitting here, avoid signing 32B and announce that we've reached a consensus on how to address and resolve that health insurance crisis. So we will publish on the new website, which will come out the week after next,
Yay.
this schedule for public hearings and for board meetings, which will address that issue the following week. And I hope it really opens up a new type of communication between our citizens and your government, because you deserve all the information. And this board has been extraordinary in making sure that one of my top objectives is to share that information. So it works for me, it works for them, I hope it works for you. Hey, John, thank you very much.
Thank you. And moving right along to my fellow select board members, Mr. Gito, did you have any comments?
Nothing except this is music to my ears.
I knew
I've been dealing with this too.
That's right. Mr. McCrisky?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Carrera?
I have none.
Okay. And I have no other questions. Moving right along to town manager, did you have any other comments?
Madam Chair, we did cover the fire department public hearing of March 20th, so we're good there, and that's here at this library, and we'll publish the time for it in the near future.
Public information.
Public information, thank you for that. There is a distinction between public information and public hearing. This is a conversation, public information. I discussed the health insurance, so we're good there. Next thing I want to talk about is, just give you an update on, is the town hall damage. Anybody who comes over to town hall from today forward will see a building that's under complete transformation. It's going to take a month to restore Town Hall. All of us have been displaced out of our offices, yet we're all coming to work every day. No one's staying at home. We're just moving offices around. Every piece of rug is being replaced. Second and third floor walls are being replaced from water damage. Ceilings that caved in from the water are all being replaced. Maya, our insurance company, has been extraordinary. There's well over $1 million worth of damage, and we are covered, short our deductible. We've gone through in the last 5 days a town hall purging. We've removed more than 2 tons of old files. We've freed up 35 file cabinets that we're storing downstairs. That's our first move towards freeing up space in this building and eventually digitizing. We don't want to digitize junk, so we've been cleaning it out for the past Saturday, Sunday, Monday, the holiday. We'll be doing that for the next month. And so when you come back a month from now, you're going to see painted walls, new carpet, new ceilings, several new light fixtures. I think you'll be very pleased that your town hall will be once again restored to not its original condition, that was 130 years ago, but it'll be very presentable and something we can be proud of. Madam Chair, I've prepared for you, and I'll send it out to the entire board tomorrow, the work schedule for the next 2 weeks. And when we get close to the end of that, we'll give you the work schedule for the following week. We do expect to be meeting in this room for at least 1 month for the public's information. There were people over at Town Hall waiting for that meeting, so clearly I've got to make that more public so people don't think it's there. I think that's all I have for now. Yes, it is. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so very much. Moving right along to citizens' comments. Are there any citizens' comments? Yes.
Thank you. Identify yourself.
And the topic that you would like to discuss.
I absolutely will. I appreciate.
Please state
Hello,
your
yes,
name,
Peter Banis.
your address,
41 Walnut Court, Stoughton, Precinct 2, Town Meeting Rep.
and the topic you
The
would like.
topic, I just first of all want to tell the citizens of this town, when I never go on the website hardly, but I spent some time on it yesterday also, but when I saw this letter, message from Town Manager Tom Coulter to the greeting to the citizens of Stoughton, and I understand he's going to plan on doing that on a regular basis. So I just want to compliment that for his business experience, his leadership skills from running a business, all right, and being a top-notch businessman, and the credit to the town of Stoughton. I also want to thank all the, I do this all the time, all the members and all the volunteers of every committee everywhere that puts their time in, and non-paid people, they give so many hours, and I just want to thank everybody for that. The packet I did deliver today, you guys can discuss it whenever you want to discuss. I don't even expect maybe it to be public. Maybe it's an executive session, but the facts I brought out just from my homework that I did, and I mentioned this in some of my documentation, the December 6th book.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
excuse me, Ms. Banish. What you have to say is very important, but can you please hold that until we have our...
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
We'll have our public information meeting, because I would like to have a dialogue.
No, I'd
Yeah.
like to have a dialogue too.
Yes.
Okay, but it's hard for me. And as I always say, thanks a lot for listening to me.
Thank you, bye-bye.
But you didn't have any choice.
Any other citizens' comments? Oh, yes, please.
Hello?
Please
Can you hear
state...
me?
Oh,
Can you hear
thank
me
you.
okay?
Hi, welcome.
Okay.
Please state your name and your address.
Greg Pokraka, 318 Prospect Street, town meeting member as well. Just a couple really quick comments, so it won't belabor the points too long. Here today for 2 reasons. One is to welcome and acknowledge our new town manager, Tom Coulter, who has pledged full transparency here in Stoughton in all the facets of our town government. So I thank him for that. And his most recent letter, which I didn't know Peter was going to be referring to, but where he quote unquote said, "The time is now for us to recognize and deal with all of our challenges. That is your government's obligation to Stoughton residents." So I'm very pleased to hear that. Second reason, real brief, I didn't know we were going to be announcing the public information session, so that's great news, but again, here representing the residents of Prospect Street and surrounding.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt you, but would you please delay that comment until we have the public information session? Because I really want this to be interactive.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure,
If
yeah, I
anything
just-
about the fire station,
Yeah.
because it's going to be very important that you present the information that you had at hand. And you know what? I can recall a couple of months ago when Mr. Bannis first approached us, and he had a letter, and I asked him, hey, Mr. Bannis, would you like your preference to read the letter or have a full-blown comment discussion, adding it to the agenda, interactive conversation? And he opted to read the letter. But then subsequently, every meeting, he has a new letter he wants to read. So we could have answered and discussed as a body, as the residents, and because the select board represents you, we want to hear what you have to say. We could have done that months ago, but now we have our new town manager, Mr. Coulter, who's actually going to lead a discussion, and I want to add into that discussion as well, so you can hear my views or what the timeline was and why decisions were made. But, you know, in all honesty, this did go to town meeting, and the town meeting reps, which is our form of government, they voted in favor of this, but it seems like you have some additional information. So would you be so
Correct.
kind as
Yeah,
to
so-
hold that
yeah, so
until
just-
we have our public information meeting?
Yeah,
So
so-
it can be interactive.
Yes, so, you know, since I prepared this prior to knowing this announcement, I just wanted to say that we have been asking for quite a long time to have this public hearing.
And it's
I
going to
was-
be March
yep,
20th,
And I was
just in a couple of
again here
weeks.
to ask for that today, and I'm very pleased that that will be on the docket for March 20th. So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any other citizens' comments? I'm leaning for our next agenda item. I'm looking at, oh, we're all set? Okay, everyone is here. It's item number 5, the Al Lipkin Cardiac Care Award. And I don't know who's going to lead that. Oh, Chief. It's a recognition award. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hi.
Good evening. Madam Chair, the honorable members of the Board of Selectmen.
Is
Is that on?
Can
I don't
Can you
think
hear
it's
me?
on testing.
Just move.
you hear it
up
back
to
there?
I-
There you go.
How about now? Everybody hear me?
Yep.
All right, great.
Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Chair, honorable members of the Select Board, Mr. Coulter, members of our community, members of the Stoughton Police Department that are present here today, as well as family and friends of those officers and civilians from our community that we're here to recognize. Today, we're here, and it is a great pleasure of mine to present 2 awards to 2 members of our department, as well as a civilian award for the actions of a citizen in our community taking positive action to save a man's life in our community. So the survivor of the medical is here today, Mr. Barbosa and his wife, and some of his family are also here. I'd like to give a little background on our Lifesaver Award from the Police Department, if I may. It's a criteria that we have established a number of years back with some of our awards. And the Lifesaver Medal is an award that has been established for law enforcement personnel and recognizes an officer or a team of officers who, through their direct medical interventions or other measures, are responsible for saving a life. Actions include cardiopulmonary resuscitation, the Heimlich maneuver, or other actions taken for the preservation of life. The action taken actually preserves a life. Recipients of this award will receive a written citation, a plaque, a uniform ribbon, and the designated Life-Saving Medal Award, which is a blue, white, and a blue ribbon that they'll be able to wear on their uniform. Additionally, for the civilian rescuer that we have here tonight, is an award that we created after a member of our community, Al Lipkin. Al Lipkin, many years back, was the spearheading drive behind receiving donations for our police department. Back in 2002, he was able to get donations to afford our department with a number of AEDs. Back in 2002, that was a little bit before many other police departments had AEDs, external automated defibrillators, put in their cruisers, and we were one of the very few departments in 2002 that were able to get that equipment. That equipment was something that was life-saving for Mr. Barbosa and many others over the last 20 years. So the Al Lipkin Award is named posthumously from Al, who individually solicited donations for the AEDs for our cruisers. This award is given to civilians or off-duty police, fire, EMS, or healthcare workers who engage in rescue activity while off-duty that results in the saving of a human life. Actions include cardiopulmonary resuscitation, the use of an AED, or a combination thereof that results in saving of a human life. So I'll bring you to the day this incident took place, January 2nd, 2022. A man named Darren Barbosa, who was out for a run while in the area of Amelia's Restaurant on Washington Street, collapsed as a result of a sudden cardiac arrest. Deborah Wilder, who's a citizen of our community, would have been passing by, stopped and took quick action, evaluated the situation, began medical treatment, and called 911. Shortly thereafter, after dispatch sent out the call to police and EMS in our community, Officers Jennifer Sullivan and Officer Thomas Tedesco arrived on scene and took over medical care. A rapid assessment by the officers and the continuation of cardiac care. A shock was advised after the AED was placed on Mr. Barbosa by the officers, and that shock was administered. It was later learned that responding paramedics from Stoughton Fire administered additional shocks with the AED, and Mr. Barbosa was revived. It is for these reasons, Officer Sullivan and Officer Tedesco, we are pleased to present to you the Stoughton Police Department's Lifesaver Award, and respectively, Mrs. Wilder, the Al Lipkin Cardiac Care Award. Your actions on January 2nd resulted in saving the life of Mr. Barbosa and reflect the highest traditions of police service and the medical profession. We congratulate you on a job well done, and I believe at this time, Mr. Barbosa would like to say a few words. You have the floor, sir.
Okay. Selectmen, I just want to say that I want to thank the officers and the civilian, this man here, for saving my life with that machine that without it I wouldn't be here right now talking to you. I also want to thank all Stoughton police, firefighters, and whoever else was on the scene to take care of me as the way they did. I'm actually doing well. I'm doing better than expected. I feel like nothing never happened, but it did. But if it wasn't for these folks, these fine folks here, I would not be here. I just want to thank them from the bottom of my heart and tell you that I'm indebted for you for life. Thank you very much. Shake their hand. Thank you.
Let's take a 5-minute recess for pictures and things like that. Sound check. Sound check. Check. Mr. McCrisky, Mr. Coulter. You all ready to reconvene? Mr. McCrisky. He can't hear. You ready? We might get out of here by 8:15.
Why did we start so late? I was excited. I looked at it and I was like, oh. But at
Let's
least
see.
we have a hot seat.
Yes.
Is it too late to take up papers for selectmen? I think I'd like to run.
Add your name to the 10 other people.
Now that is a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is. Hello, everyone. Testing, testing, sound again. Mhm.
Tom.
I call the meeting of the Select Board back to order at 8:02 p.m. Next on our agenda is item number 6, the consent agenda items. Approval of open meeting session minutes for February 7th, emergency authorization request to the Massachusetts Department of Revenue. C is water connection application for Michael Diaz at 70 Glen Echo Boulevard. And D is agreement between the town of Stoughton and the Stoughton Police Superior Officers, MCOP Local 461. Does anyone want to pull an item for discussion? With there being none,
Motion to approve this consent agenda.
Second.
motion has been approved, made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
And I vote aye as well.
Madam Chair, one comment?
Yes.
One of those items is the, excuse me, it is I thought it was in there, the contract with the Superiors Union.
Okay.
It's in your packet, I know
It's
that.
D.
It's
D.
D, I'm sorry, it's not on the agenda. I just want to,
It is.
mine goes down to C.
Did you get the updated agenda?
Maybe not, I just
Yeah.
got down to C.
It wasn't
I want to
updated.
thank Lieutenant Dan Carmichael for joining us this evening. He brought this to my attention that it was unfinished business. We were able to finish it before we negotiate the next one. Dan, I thank you for coming out this evening just to work with us on this. Very kind of you.
Thank you. And as I recall, this is one that was previously approved by the Select Board and town
town
meeting.
meeting.
We just needed to get the signature.
Yes, housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you so very much. The next agenda is 7, is the application for change of manager, Knights of Columbus. Will the representative please step forward? Knights of Columbus, 14 Seaver Street, San Salvador Associates, Gary, how do you pronounce his name? Lacqua. Nice seeing you again.
Ilaqua.
Ilaqua.
Do you want me, what do you want me to read these?
Yes, please. Mr. Carrera, please
Hang
read
on
into
1
the
minute, Gary.
records.
Madam Chairman, under item 7, the change of manager for Knights of Columbus, there is a formal alcoholic beverage application that was filed in Mr. Alaqua's, and then there was his co-reform has been passed. We have his amendment application also. We have from the police department, it says they have no objection to this application. From the fire department, Assistant Chief Maycomber, fire department has no objections to this request. Building and zoning has no issues from Jack Erickson, the director. Sean Leahy from Board of Health. The Board of Health does not permit them as a food establishment. In this year's, the past, they've had potluck waivers when the food is brought in for events. From the Treasurer's Office, there is no outstanding problems. And last not least, the water department, no objections. And that's all your stuff.
Yes. So, Mr. McCristy, did you have a question?
Madam Chair, thank you, and I believe maybe this is going to be through you to Mr. Alacqua. On the issue of the potluck, is the kitchen still there at the nights?
Yes, we still have the kitchen.
Okay.
We're basically open 2 nights a week. We have functions there. They have very little use of the kitchen. We used to do the dinners for the elderly on, residents of the town of Stoughton on Tuesdays. We don't do that anymore, so basically.
Okay. Grease trap, you don't have a grease trap there?
We absolutely
You
have-
do,
we
okay.
have a-
Okay, I was just
We
wondering.
have an indoor one, and then we have a 15,000 gallon.
Okay.
1,500.
Yeah, okay, all right, because I was just wanting to make sure that, I wasn't sure if you had that or not, because there's other places that, smaller places, Callanians, we've allowed.
I checked on it because it wasn't in the packet, so I made a phone call
Yeah,
I
okay,
forgot to
because
mention
there's another place that I'll be bringing up sooner or later to try to use the same philosophy we had with Callanians years ago, because a lot of clubs can't afford to put in these big, especially after COVID,
No,
but,
we renovated in '99,
okay,
so everything was up
Okay.
to code
all right, good.
in '99, 2000.
All right, great, thanks for answering that.
Are there any other questions to the representative?
Motion for the change of manager.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I vote aye as well.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Well, I don't know if that's the right word.
Somebody's got to do it, Gary.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Have a good evening. If there's no other business for the select board tonight, I am open to a motion to adjourn.
So made.
Second.
Before you vote that, Madam Chair?
Yes.
I would like to thank members of the board. During this cleanup, all of you showed up at different times of the day with coffee and refreshments on Saturday and on Sunday. That's true leadership, and we really appreciate that you all thought of us, and the town employees were very, very, very inspired by your actions. So thank you for that. That's all.
You're quite welcome. So on the motion to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Carrera?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. Good night, everyone, and see you next week. Thank you very much.